Some white folks, especially the Trump cult, keep proving to the world that even kindergarten lessons were too advanced. Sharing was the very first lesson we were all supposed to learn, and they still haven't mastered it. My name is Shanda, and welcome to In the Deep End. Americans failed the earliest fundamental lesson we all learned in kindergarten: sharing. All day long while in class, you would hear your teacher saying things like, "Johnny, let Davy play the game too. Susie, don't hog all the Legos. We all have to share." Or, "Sarah, Joey's turn is next, okay?" That was supposed to be one of the building blocks of early childhood development. Learning that you're not the center of the world, you're not the center of attention. But here we are, decades later, and too many never learned that lesson. Instead, they carried the opposite into adulthood. And it shows up in every crack and crevice of our society. It shows in our politics, like gerrymandering voting districts to suppress or silence certain voices. It shows up in segregated suburbs where invisible walls still exist, like a force field. You can't see it, but everyone feels it and knows it's there. It shows up in corporate boardrooms where every face looks the same. Take this thing they call replacement theory. To those of you that believe this nonsense, nobody is replacing anybody. Replacement theory is a lie gone rogue, a false dichotomy, spreading like an oil slick, coating everything in its path: politics, media, and even around the water cooler at work. And just like an oil spill, it's toxic, choking out reason and poisoning everything it touches. The same people who scream about replacement theory are just throwing grown-up tantrums because they failed life's simplest lesson. You are not the center of attention. Equality isn't replacement or extinction, but some white Americans are kicking and screaming like it is. They are so used to non-whites, and in, of course, my case, blacks in particular, being supporting actors in their movies. The thought of us moving our way up to lead roles obviously is triggering. And it makes you ask, whatever happened to the idea of let everybody play and let the best man win? Are white people afraid that if the game is fair, they won't be the winners? Have they finally started to realize they are not the superior race they so foolishly believe themselves to be? Check out this TikTok, you guys, and we'll come back for more commentary.
I have a theory about why black women and white women are having such a hard time getting along, and it starts with a story. When I first started teaching, I was in a teacher training program with 3 other women. 2 of them were black and 1 of them was Indian, and we started teaching at the same school, the same grade, at the same time. One of these women, a black woman, completely excelled. She did so much better than I did at literally everything. Classroom management, her test scores were high. She was excellent at literally everything. And something about her excellence didn't sit right with me. I just didn't feel good about it, and I couldn't figure out why I didn't feel good about it. It was internalized racism, but I didn't know that yet. So I had to sit with this idea of her being better than me and trying to figure out why it didn't feel good and feel comfortable for me. And of course, at the time, I didn't know that I needed to do the work of anti-racism, so I didn't think it was possibly because I could have internalized racism. I had to do a lot of study and thought about myself and what could possibly be making me feel this way about this woman. And here's what I discovered. Most of the media that I had consumed up to that point in my life had white people as the central characters. And the shows and other media that I consumed that had white women at the central characters often had black women as the side characters. These black women's role in these movies was to assist the white women, support the white women, advise the white women, but never to rise above the white women. Even shows that were about black women, like The Help, had white women as the central character and the black women as supporting characters. So I internalized the idea that black women were there to support me and to advise me, but not to rise above or become better than me. And that's why when this black teacher was way better and more talented than me, I felt some kind of way about it. Now, I'd imagine lots and lots more white women have also internalized the same idea, and that's why they feel okay stealing black women's content and not giving them any credit, because the black women are just there to advise them anyway. But most black women are natural leaders. Society has forced them to become leaders.
The story they are selling is simple. If someone else wins, we lose. If someone else rises, we fall. If someone else has a seat at the table, we get pushed out like losing at musical chairs. But that's not reality. The American life is not a me or you scenario. It should be a me and you scenario. Yet some white Americans refuse, or dare I say, incapable of grasping that simple concept. They want to hoard influence like a kindergarten child clutching every toy in the sandbox. And when they're asked to share, when equality demands a turn, they melt down like a 5-year-old child in the grocery store aisle, throwing themselves on the floor, kicking and screaming because they can't have the lollipop. That's what replacement theory really is, a tantrum presenting as a political philosophy and belief. We saw it in Charlottesville. You guys remember that. White men with torches in hand, marching through the streets chanting, "You will not replace us. Jews will not replace us." Grown men screaming into the night about being replaced. When all that's really happening is others are finally standing up to say, we are here, we are not going anywhere, and we demand equal respect and opportunity. That's not replacement, that's equality. That's just other kids finally getting their turn on the playground. But if you failed kindergarten basics, equality feels like extinction. And it's not just America. Look across the pond. The protests in the UK carry the same energy, fear, panic, and rage over the idea that other people just might belong to. It's the same lie, the same oil spill, just flowing in different waters. White territorial behavior is not confined to one country. It seems to be a global pattern of clutching, hoarding, and panicking whenever anyone else reaches for a piece of the pie. This has been baked into the system for generations. Schools made whiteness the hero. Media replayed the script. Laws stacked the deck in housing, jobs, and education. So when you grow up in a system rigged in your favor, you don't call it privilege, you call it normal. That's normal. And then act super confused at the phrase white privilege. And when that normal gets challenged, when diversity shows up and says, it's my turn now, it feels like an attack. Diversity isn't an attack. Equality isn't a threat. Equal treatment does not mean replacement. Strong people don't panic when someone else succeeds. Strong people don't collapse at the idea of sharing. White fragility does that. Insecurity does that. To the kindergarten classroom, share. Don't hog all the toys. Equality does not mean you lose. It does not mean you disappear. It just means someone else gets to play too. Two being the operative word. That's equality. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Alt-right white nationalist rally. Take a look at this.
Jews will not replace us! Jews will not replace us!
Universities, the torch-wielding white nationalists coming face-to-face.
During a demonstration by white nationalists at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville.
White lives matter! White lives matter! White lives matter! White lives matter!
What you had in Charlottesville was these alt-right people, many of them marching in Trump's name. We could see them marching with torches, and it looked like something out of Nazi Germany.